Hello, welcome everyone. Thanks for joining us. Glad you could make it. We're going to do a fun little application today. We are going to have some fun building a learning app. Can everybody see the PRD tool there? Wonderful. Using AI for tools to build learning tools is really a cool use of AI. Been doing it a lot lately. And it seems like something that more people need to know exists, not just, hey, use AI to create a bot all the time or use AI to answer questions about something I have. Do some learning with AI here. And you can use this process for just about anything that you want to have a learning application for. What we're going to do today is build a little reading application that will help kids who are learning sight words and learning how to read, practice their skills. And the goal here will be to show you different ways that different tools approach this. We're going to do it in 3 different tools so you can compare. And then we will review some of our common tactics, such as putting it to GitHub so we can work with it a little bit more successfully depending on the platform. I pre-wrote a little bit of a prompt for this, what we're going to build. I didn't make it fancy. I didn't put a lot into this because I want it to be something that anybody would start with and they could go from here. So we're going to build an app to help kindergartners and first graders practice reading words and phrases that are age appropriate for their grades. It's going to have two modules, first grade and a kindergarten module. It's going to be touch friendly. It'll say the words out loud using 11 Labs. I don't know if you're familiar with 11 Labs, but it's basically a voice AI tool, API that you can use to put into your applications to speech enable them. I want several lessons in each grade. We'll see. AI might choke on this one and only give us 1 lesson, and then we can extend it later. It will also play any instruction out loud, which I have up there. It will have learning and practice mode so they can learn the words or they can practice what they've learned. I want to see if we can get some drag and drop, some different modalities here for learning. And I gave it a name here for the call. And then simple auth with learner progress tracked in their account. So we're going to generate this PRD. And if you need to do a PRD of your own, go to prd.opg.ai. This is a free tool that I built. Many of you have seen it many times. We have our PRD here. We're going to copy this and we're going to build it in 3 different tools and just see what each one comes up with. First one is Lovable. I really like Lovable for this sort of application. It does a really good job with little games and interactive applications here. So I recommend definitely considering Lovable for this. We're going to send that on its way. We're going to take the same PRD and go over here to Bolt. And we are going to drop the same thing into Bolt here and send that on its way. And then the last thing we're going to do is drop it into Replit. Now, Replit is going to, as it normally does, take whatever we paste in, put it up here in a little block. So I like to give it a little instructions. Please build this. Now with Replit, because my instructions had authentication, we are going to say, do not use Replit auth. Just trust me on that one. You don't want to use Replit auth. It's very annoying. So we are going to tell it that and start that. So now we have the application building here in Lovable. We have it going in Bolt and we have it planning. Replit takes a little bit more time in planning to build here. So we have it planning in Replit. We're going to see how that goes here. I see a couple comments. Scott stoked about this project. Have a first grader in the house. Love to see it made. Hope the final version is available online for you to use. Well, it depends how far we get here, Scott. We actually have a writing app, like a practicing writing app that the team here is building that's going to be production level, that we're going to be rolling out to schools and things like that. But that will probably be the first one that actually makes its way to the online space. It's really cool. I will get the team on to do a demo about it when it is ready to go. So this will be kind of a taste of how that will work. To get these to a full production level can be interesting. LC, you said you own a childcare facility. You'd love to create your own in-house educational apps. That's exactly the idea here, is to give you the toolkit to do that. This is kind of an industry that we've gotten into a lot as a company for the dev side of the business, and have been building a lot of educational applications. Seems like there's a ton of new interest in it. So you're looking in the right spot, LC. The AI to build these apps is the way to go. What you see here is just a mock-up that Replit is making. This is not interactive in any way. It's just kind of a static page that it makes before it starts to build. Don't let this not working. If you're using Replit, nothing here should work at this point. You shouldn't be able to click on it or anything like that. Going back over to Bolt, looks like it has started assembling things quite nicely here. It's got its framework built. You can see it writing the code as we go. And Lovable is generally the first done almost every time. It has made a fun looking little application here. So it's made some notes for us. Let's take a look at what's been built. It says it's done colorful features. It has touch friendly. It says for user authentication and progress tracking, you'll need to connect to Supabase. Supabase is the database service that Lovable and Bolt use for their database management. That's the connection that they offer. Whereas Replit builds its own database once it gets done determining next steps. It builds its own database inside Replit. Of course, for any of them, you could use an external database service if you want. It's a little easier to do with Replit to connect an external database than it is with Bolt and Lovable, but you can on all of them. Supabase is a really excellent option. Tony, I see you made a comment that you built an app in Google AI Studio. Has it come along? It really struggled the first few times I used it.
I wasn't expecting much, way surpassed my expectation.
Okay. I'll have to give it another try and see how it goes. It kind of choked the first two times I used it, and I didn't spend a ton of time trying to coax it into cooperating. Let's go ahead and connect this to Supabase so that we can have our accounts and be able to create those. Okay. We'll just click connect to Supabase here. We will connect it to one of my projects. You see on my Supabase account what I have. Okay. So we're going to create a new project here. And name it that. We'll just do the small one. Doesn't really matter what password you use here as long as it's strong. And you copy and save that somewhere for your application. And we will create this. All right. This project is being set up here. Waiting for this to finish loading. Then we'll be able to connect. In the meantime, let's see what Bolt has built. It seems to have dropped our connection. It should pick up right here where it left off. If we click retry, it should be able to see that it has a bunch of this already loaded in. Looks like they dropped their connection though. Okay, and Replit is moving along here. Let's see how this project is. Still setting up. Supabase is still thinking there. And what is Bolt saying? It's already quite well developed. It says it's ready to run. And this is what Bolt has built for us. So it kind of gave us a little non-login entry point in the application. Check and see if Supabase is ready yet. Still looks like it's thinking. There we go. Okay, now I can get this to show up for you. So here we have our Lovable that we built. We click that Supabase button that down over here, and we have the application. So we will connect that here. Now we are connected. I doubt that it created everything we need to be able to log in. So for starters, we're going to open this up in a new tab. The Start Learning Today button doesn't work. Our play button doesn't seem to play anything. These buttons don't work, and this button doesn't work. So that looks to be like a really nice front end that does nothing. That's what Lovable built us. That's very common. See that a lot. And then we have Bolt over here. We will open it up in a tab and connect to that. I see a question in the chat. Any thoughts on Opal? LC, I do not have a ton of thoughts on Opal. Have you been playing with Opal much?
I have. I've built a few things in it. It's very different. Like it's vibe coding, but the final product doesn't seem like an app that you could, share or monetize.
I feel like from what I read about it, and I haven't played with it, but from what I read, it was more of like little micro tools, potentially, like single activity tools that it was focused on building, maybe almost agentic type elements, like what the ChatGPT, they implemented the new agent mode where it will build little tools in the browser and then use those as it goes along. So like I said, I haven't played with it beyond just reading when it came out, but that's kind of the impression I got. Okay, well, since we have Opal on the mind, we will name this student Opal and we will start learning. So this is the Bolt application. It looks like it just does a little in-browser session here to get people into the learning application. Over here, let's query and find out what was built. So we're going to ask it, review this application, tell me what is built and tested, what is stepped out, what is not built at all, and what is entirely placeholder or fake. Do not make changes. So we're just going to have the AI review that and go through all the code here and tell us what it feels like it built, because it looks to me like it built a front end that's not connected to much of anything. Then over here, Replit is still working. It tends to be the slowest of the pack, but it does complex things generally very well. Let's see if it has set up a database yet. It has not set up the database yet. Let's see what it thinks it's going to do here as it finishes fixing issues that it sees. The app is running. There. Looks like it has some interactivity. We go back over to Bolt here. Let's go into learning mode. Okay. This is a fun little setup. Has 4 words to learn. See if it said anything else here. It looks like it put 4 words in each box. Does that sound play through Zoom for everybody? No. It is sometimes a little bit like that. Because this one actually did get the sound working. Well, then you'll have to take my word for it right now. It says jump in a very computerized voice right there, which is exciting for everyone. It sounds to me like it used maybe just an open voice tool. Let's see if it tells us here. It dropped in Web Speech API because that's what the Bolt agent was familiar with. AI will do this a lot. You tell it to, hey, I want to use XYZ tool, and it will use something that's similar that it has been trained on. And then you get to go in and find that it did that and change it out if you care, or if it's a problem. If it's not a problem, if you like the one that's there, that is fine. Thanks for watching. If you want to see more videos like this, please like and follow. And if you need help building or finishing your app, click the link in my bio to book a one-on-one Zoom call to take a look at your project.